My best friend of 16 years, who has never shown any interest in me, surprised me at my graduate school apartment and seduced me into a friends with benefits relationship. Posted by you/grad04. I, 22M, have known this girl Erin, 22F, since we were in elementary school. Our families are really close, our parents are best friends and neighbors. We would often spend countless hours together at each other's houses. It got to the point where we could literally let each other into each other's houses or rooms with parental supervision, which is a big deal as kids or teens. I've always been attracted to her. In middle school she was cute. In high school she was extremely attractive. We went to prom together as friends. I've told her a few times over the years how I felt, and she was always saying, let's just be friends, or, that would be weird, pretty much turning me down. We grew distant in undergrad due to attending different universities, and then she studied abroad, but we still kept in touch from time to time, Skype, text, holidays, etc. In undergrad I started working out seriously and playing soccer. We both played since we were young. I've never been out of shape, but I've never been this physically defined in my life. After graduating college, I went into grad school, where I stayed in a single apartment on campus. I leave a key at my parents' in case I ever lose or forget mine. One evening I'm taking a nap and hear someone coming into my apartment. By the time I open my eyes and get myself together, Erin is already sitting on my bed. I'm thrilled to see her. It's been nearly 2 years since we've physically seen each other. She crawls over, hugs me, and that's when I realized things kinda went different. She leans in, and instead of the normal "hey, what's up and how's life," kisses me on the lips. I'm blown away, shocked, and beyond happy. Kisses lead to touching, and touching leads to sex. When we finish, she tells me I better get used to her because she's attending the same graduate school. She says she wants more of this, and mind you, at the time I was still on cloud 9, so of course I said sure without thinking. That was nearly 3 months ago, and now she comes over. Some days we talk like best friends, and other days it's just a lot of sex. My emotions are all over the place. As if it wasn't bad enough, her being my best friend and FWB is really a challenge for me. To my knowledge, she has no boyfriend, no love interest, or anything like that. But whenever I bring up dating or anything serious, I'm met with sexy time and an open-ended, "We'll talk about it later," or, "Let's just have some fun together and think about it later." Should I just be patient? Why do I feel so much regret despite being so happy? Is it wrong to have this type of relationship with her, given how I feel about her? Our friendship dynamic has changed. I'm aroused just by the thought of being alone with her. Now we're hiding things from our parents and friends. While I feel like I'm falling for her more and more, I haven't any clue as to what she is thinking. Obviously, the sexy time with her is a dream come true for me. She is a gorgeous girl, and friends and family all throughout school have always joked about us dating or hooking up. I don't know if I can ever go back to seeing her as just a best friend without the benefits, and the fact that I don't know if that's the same for her scares me. Am I overthinking this? Should I just enjoy it while it lasts? Top/relevant comments. Commenter. I'll probably get downvoted, and I'm pretty new at this, but I think you should just ride it out and embrace your feelings to the fullest. It might have been selfish for her to engage in a relationship with you like that, knowing your prior feelings about her, but the bottom line, I feel like, is that you can't end it. If you could end it, then you wouldn't have needed to post seeking advice on it. You feel strongly about it, and while it sucks, there is always a maybe. Also, I feel like if you two were genuinely best friends for the majority of your lives, then she wouldn't just discard your feelings and use you like that. I think she would have straight up just told you no if she wasn't considering you. Maybe the timing isn't right, or maybe it's something with her she is trying to sort out. Either way, I feel like you end up with her and you guys actually become a couple, or you or her ends it, and your friendship falls apart. Which is even worse, since you've been friends for so long and your families are friends. If you have the willpower to end it, then cut your losses short and do it. However, I think you already know you can't end it. Saying no to someone you've been admiring for a while isn't as easy as most of these comments say. I'm going through something similar myself. Ops response. Honestly, I didn't want to admit it, but I don't think I have the power to end this, and you bring up good points about how, if she didn't want me, she would have just straight up said no. I doubt anyone will understand, but when I see her and I'm with her, there is nothing I wouldn't do for her. I think I'm just going to have to go with the only logical, possible choice, which is to ride it out and try to learn more about her. Saying I could end it at any point would only be me lying to myself. Maybe she did come out of a bad relationship or has some commitment issues. I'm going to try to work with her through whatever it is. Commenter 2. The only thing I would worry about is if there is a fallout and you two are not on the same page about things. A 16-year-old friendship is a lot to lose, and emotions can run high in things like this. Just be careful. Looking at it from a third party, this can end well, but you have more information than we do. Ops response. Yeah, I completely understand where you're coming from. Like one of the other commenters said, though, I've liked this girl for more than half of my life. I vividly remember daydreaming about sleeping with her back in high school. Even prom, I didn't manage to. I can't turn off my feelings for her, and even ending it beforehand won't bring about the closure I'm seeking. I think if anything, I'd probably regret not biding my time to see where we could have gone. I don't want to sound corny or helpless, but what I'm doing with this girl undoubtedly makes me happier than I've ever been. The way I see it, in black and white, is either we end up together and live happily ever after some time down the road, or she leaves me for someone else. In which case, our friendship ends anyway for an extremely long time. That's just how trying to date a best friend, in my eyes, has always gone. Make it something better or watch years of friendship crumble to a million pieces. The only information I left out is that she doesn't want to talk about the 2 years we weren't connected, which leads me to think that something happened. I don't know if it was a bad breakup, a horrible experience, or what really caused such a change. Hopefully, I can find out. Update 2.5 months later. Despite most people, including many of my closest friends, telling me to just end things with her or force her into a decision, I decided to just ride it out, accepting that I'd probably get tossed to the side when someone better came around for her. We went on to be FWB for about 4 months, and those were honestly the most nerve-wracking months of my life, never knowing when or if it was going to end or what she was really thinking. I tried my best to play it off as if it didn't bother me, but really it was a bittersweet time for me. After our school semester ended, we drifted apart a little bit. We both were spending time with family and friends. We both had extremely busy semesters and spent most of the time studying or with one another, so it was expected. She ended up going on vacation with her parents to visit her grandparents in England. She did invite me to come along months ago, but I already had other obligations, so I couldn't go with her, despite wanting to. We did talk on the phone a few times while she was away. I actually had an annual soccer tournament with my traveling team, and we met this all-girls team at the tournament. I was telling her about it since she plays soccer as well. She seemed happy for me that I was having fun, but I could tell that it was bothering her. I just chalked it up to maybe I sounded like I was bragging or something. 2 weeks later, she asks me if I can pick her up from the airport because she flew back early, and she nearly knocks me over. She hugs me so tightly. She had never shown so much intimacy in public before. She even tells me that she really missed me. It's like 8 p.m., and we go to Starbucks. She's being really different, a lot quieter than normal, and she seems a little nervous around me, like she wants to say something. Eventually, she confesses that she realizes she does like me as more than just a friend, and she apologizes for her unfairness in making me wait so long before giving me an answer. She tells me that before she left, she didn't really know what she wanted. She didn't know if she wanted a relationship or if she was ready to be in one. She said that she was afraid to get into a relationship with me only to realize that she didn't want it and feared that our friendship would never bounce back. She told me that she experienced a lot of things in England and was sad that she wasn't able to experience them together. She talked to her older sister who lives in England, who really put in some good words for me. So we're officially dating, and everything has been awesome. Couldn't be happier. Sorry if this update is a bit lacking. I tried to summarize 3 weeks worth into this post without making it a novel. But if you have any questions about anything, just let me know. Thanks for the advice on the original post. It really gave me some solid perspective. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. I'm happy for you. I'm glad you waited it out. It seems like every post on relationships has a horde of people saying break up, no matter what the scenario is. Congrats. Ops response. Thanks. Honestly, I think waiting it out was the only realistic option I had anyway. I couldn't see myself ending our friends with benefits relationship with her because I was always a bit spineless when it came to Erin, especially during the semester when spending time with her was pretty much the highlight of my day. It could have ended up painful, but I'm grateful and counting my lucky stars that it didn't. Commenter 2. Congrats. I know the feeling of having the other person finally come around to wanting a relationship too, especially when you were quicker to realize your feelings. The only advice I have for you is to make sure you aren't living in fear of losing her. You say you can be a bit spineless when it comes to Erin, so make sure you grow and strengthen that spine. Don't be afraid to communicate your important feelings or thoughts, even if she may disagree with them. It's a lesson I'm still learning with my partner, but every time I speak up, I feel better for doing so, and our relationship grows. We've promised each other to have the courage to bring up the hard conversations and to be receptive to hard conversations. Good luck to you. Ops response. It's something we've both been actively working on. I don't have the fear of losing her, but I often find myself trying to spoil her. She usually says something like, "You can't always give me everything." Or sometimes, more subtly, she'll make a joke about wanting something outrageous so I can learn to say no. Our communication has picked up considerably. I think we both thought we knew a lot about each other, being best friends for so long, but there's a lot that we are both surprisingly still learning about one another, and it's great. We've bumped heads a couple of times, in a good way, and it's always been a positive outcome. So thanks. Commenter 3. This is awesome. How did both your families react to the news? Ops response. Our families both took it really well. Her dad was expecting it and wasn't surprised in the least. He had been expecting it for a long time. He said he had his suspicions and even bet his wife that we would end up together before the end of the year. My dad made a joke last weekend when we had a cookout and showed up a bit late. I was getting worried my son didn't have any balls. He was joking, of course, but I ended up being the butt end of many jokes that day. Our moms keep telling us that we were just the cutest thing they had ever seen. I think overall everyone is happy for us. We both have younger siblings, my brother is 11 and her sister is 12, and they were so confused because they didn't see our rings. They were mistaking dating for marriage.